Welcome to Fox Valley in Focus. I'm your host, Barb Nadeau, and today our show includes three ladies, all here to represent different nonprofit organizations. Cami Terry is the founder of Community Heroes Appreciation. Kayla Schick is the director of Kendall County Operation Snowball, and Morgan Abate is here as an AmeriCorps Vista volunteer for the Corporation for National and Community Service. We get started right after this, and you're going to want to hear what these ladies have to say.
Their support changed my life.
They were like family.
My voice is now heard.
A home for every animal.
My future is bright because they cared.
This is our home now.
Thank you to the 1,200 nonprofits that serve Cass and Clay counties every day.
Morgan Abate is our first guest today. Morgan is an AmeriCorps Vista volunteer, and she's here to represent that program as well as the Northern Illinois Food Bank as a community engagement volunteer. Morgan, that's a mouthful. Tell me, what does that mean?
Oh, Barb, first,
and thank you.
Yes, thank you for having me on your show today. So, my position as a community engagement Vista volunteer involves a lot of outreach to the community. So on the one hand, I do a lot of speaking engagements, so I'll speak to all different types of clubs and organizations. I'll try to schedule meetings with companies to see how we might be able to help them meet community engagement and community involvement goals that they have. I'll also sometimes work with our agencies to see if they need any fundraising help, and then I'll also do grant writing as well. So it's a very fundraising and development oriented position.
And all of this as a volunteer for a year of your life. How did this happen? How did you get involved in national service?
Yeah, so I went to a school that was very civically involved and very civically engaged, and a lot of my friends have done the Peace Corps, Teach for America, all different types of programs that some people might be familiar with. So AmeriCorps works very similarly to the Peace Corps, except we do work right here in the U.S., and that's what the VISTA program is, and that's obviously the organization that I'm here representing. So I decided that I wanted to do something for a community and do something that was hands-on rather than sit behind a desk, and so now I'm here with Northern Illinois Food Bank, and I couldn't be happier.
So a lot of kids get out of school and they're struggling to find a job, and instead of going that path, you have decided to volunteer a year of your life.
Yes.
Instead, and so you're working for free basically, and just maybe getting a living allowance. What has that done for you personally, as far as, you know, what values have you found in that whole process?
Yeah, so I think first and foremost, the Vista positions have, or my position in particular, has allowed me to do so many things that an entry-level job might not allow me to do. So I'm the one going out and doing the speaking engagements, not just sitting there and scheduling them and telling someone else to go and speak at them. I'm doing the arranging, the speaking, the following up, all of that. So it's helped me build a lot of people skills that I don't think I would have built otherwise, or at least would have taken me a lot longer to build up to. I think also it's given me a lot more confidence because of the added responsibilities with it. Also making connections in the community, making connections with other VISTA members. The food bank is a wonderful place to be. So just being with all of those people and surrounded by people who make you realize why you are involved in this and why you're so passionate about it is stuff that I can take forward into any interview or into any opportunity that comes up after this.
Right, those people that you meet and are involved in that networking is going to be something that you can take with you in any career wherever you go. But now you are here with Northern Illinois Food Bank, and what is your role here? What's the message of the food bank that you want to get out to people?
Right, so the food bank serves a 13-county area from Stevenson all the way down to Kankakee and includes Kane County. Our major center is actually in Geneva, so 25-30 minutes away from here. And we have a goal of serving 75 million meals by 2020. We are a partner of Feeding America, which is a giant organization that has about 200 member food banks. And using their data and with that partnership, we're able to determine that in order to feed every hungry person in our service area, every meal, every day, we need to hit that 75 million meal mark.
lofty goals, and it's interesting because you have all this. You know, you are so well versed in what you're doing and able to communicate it. This is absolutely wonderful. Now, you want to make sure that you tell us about some key things in this time here today. One is the Northern Illinois Food Bank, and of course that's very important. AmeriCorps Vista. A great program, and you're going to be celebrating AmeriCorps Week?
Yeah, so AmeriCorps Week is the first full week in March, and it's a week where all different types of AmeriCorps members, so there's not just AmeriCorps Vista, there's also the NCCC, AmeriCorps NCCC, which is a group of people who kind of are deployed to different disaster areas within a region of the U.S., so they'll help out with the efforts there. And then there's also national and state and national. And that organization, that branch, is more direct service than what I'm doing. So they work a lot with tutoring and they work a lot with kids in disenfranchised communities.
And in your position as AmeriCorps Vista, you're helping nonprofits. And so there's Vistas at a lot of different nonprofits throughout the state doing the kind of thing that you're doing, helping that individual nonprofit thrive and grow. And in this, in your case, Northern Illinois Food Bank.
Yes, exactly.
So what are you going to be doing on AmeriCorps Week? Just celebrating?
So we have a couple things planned. So we're hoping to have a panel either at Northern Illinois University or somewhere in a community that's willing to host one, whether that be at a township building or in a county office somewhere. We're hoping to plan a service day at the Northern Illinois Food Bank with other Vistas who might be in the area, or any other AmeriCorps members in general who might be in our area. We're hoping to reach out to newspapers and to other college campuses and kind of talk to them about the opportunities that they can have post-graduation if they're not sure what they want to do or aren't sure what their interests are. And
I'm thinking any nonprofit agency that's listening is going to think, well, how can I get an AmeriCorps Vista volunteer coming and doing my work for me and helping my my organization grow? So that's all part of the program, and grant money is available for this kind of service. Where can they find more information about this?
So if you go to nationalservice.gov, then you can find all of the resources that you need if you're interested in having any type of AmeriCorps member.
Or becoming an AmeriCorps
Or even
Vista?
becoming an AmeriCorps member, whether it's for NCCC, state and national, or for Vista, then that website will tell you everything about what that branch does, how you can get more involved, how you might be able to support the program, how you might be able to get your own state and national or Vista volunteer.
Okay, and of course we're sharing with our viewers information to reach Northern Illinois Food Bank so that they can find out what you're doing there. And then you're also trying to push our local elected officials to get more involved. And tell me about this initiative.
Yeah, so we have something that's coming up on April 4th called Mayor's Day, and it's a day in recognition of national service. So we are hoping that mayors from all across our service area will come out and serve with us at food pantries that are part of our food bank network, for them to kind of recognize the commitment to national service that we and others have made. There have been about 1 million people who have been involved with AmeriCorps since it started in 1994. So it's to recognize the commitment and the dedication that people have to service.
Just mayors?
Mayors, county officials, anyone who holds elected office, even the family members of those elected officials, if they want to come and spend the day with us volunteering, then that would be absolutely wonderful.
Okay, so when is Mayor and County Day of National Service? When is that?
It is on April 4th,
Okay.
which is a Tuesday, and we will be reaching out to all of those mayors and county officials to make sure and to see if they're interested in coming out with us.
So April 4th, that's a Tuesday. Some of our pantries might have distribution day on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. So are you basically celebrating the beginning of April then?
Yeah, I guess you could say that too. I mean, there are pantries obviously that we've partnered with to be able to have it on Tuesday. In some instances that might not work out well, so we'd encourage them to still do service in their communities if they can't join us, or to issue a proclamation as well that recognizes that this is a day of national service.
Okay, just to remind all of us to do something for our community and for those less fortunate in our community. This is a wonderful thing. I remember last year, I think that it was celebrated on a Thursday. I think it was that would be April 6th for us, and this is a wonderful thing. Well, we will be sure to share all of those links online for you. So
Great,
I
wonderful.
want to thank you so much for being here, and it's so exciting. I feel like we scratched the surface, but Morgan Abate here as an AmeriCorps Vista, you are a great guest, and
Thank you,
I just
Barb.
wish you all the best in the future. Thanks for being here,
Thank you for having me.
and we'll be right back right after this. Kayla Schick joins us now. Kayla is the director of Kendall County Operation Snowball. Thank you, Kayla, for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
This is a wonderful program that I've been involved in and supportive of for many, many years. And I wanted to have you tell everybody a little bit more about Snowball. Snowball is one of those things that people don't quite understand. So tell me, how long has Operation Snowball been active in Kendall County?
Snowball has been active in Kendall County for about 35 years now. We found out that we're one of the oldest chapters in the state because Operation Snowball as a whole will be celebrating its 40th anniversary this year. So it's been a very long-standing program in our community, and we definitely want more people to know about it.
So how often do you have an Operation Snowball event?
We have an event every twice a year, and we held them in the spring and the fall, and they're typically the first weekend of March and November.
That's pretty impressive. 35 years, twice a year, and it hasn't stopped.
No, and we actually found out that a lot of the other chapters in the state and surrounding communities will only hold an event once a year, and they'll only do it for maybe 1 or 2 days. So we're still one of the original chapters that follows the original outline of how the weekend should be run, which is, I think, a true
It's great.
yes, it's great it really speaks to the quality of our program.
Well, it speaks to the quality of the program. It speaks also, I think, to the quality of the staff that you have and the dedication that they have to this program. So let's back up a little bit. Tell me, what is the mission of Operation Snowball, and who can attend?
The mission of Operation Snowball is that if people are given factual information, they can make sound choices regarding life and healthy relationships. And
so who attends? This is teenagers of what age?
we accept teenagers that are still in high school, so you're freshmen through seniors.
So right where you are at that point where you're making those decisions, life decisions, you're trying to catch them there.
Right, exactly. And we're a prevention program, so we try to give these kids accurate information so they can make those right choices, and they'll know if they're offered drugs or alcohol or the opportunity to participate in an unhealthy behavior. They'll know this is what will happen to me if I participate in this.
This is interesting because in our schools now, drug prevention, and that's something that I think people don't understand what that is, but that education has gone down to 7th grade, 5th grade, 4th grade. How is Operation Snowball and the way information is presented, how is that different? And how do you grab their attention and make them realize that this message is valid?
Well, we focus primarily on making sure that we're giving the kids factual information. We're not trying to use any scare tactics. We're just giving them the facts and we're giving it to them.
So very objectively.
Yes.
So you're not sugarcoating anything, and you're not giving it to them in a way that is like a stranger danger message. You're letting them know how the drugs work, how alcohol works, how addiction works or behavior works.
Yes, and we also have a lot of our speakers will come in and share their personal stories. So we'll give them the scientific facts of what, this is what happens to your body when you take this drug. And then we also have those personal stories to come in, and so they learn more of the social effects and how it can affect their relationships with their friends and family and loved ones.
How does a teenager, or really a person of any age, respond when the message is given to them in that way?
They really respond to it very well. A lot of the kids always tell us how the programs changed their lives for the better. And
They finally paid attention?
yes. And I think our program is also really helpful because we don't just give them this information then send them on their way. They're able to go back and meet with other kids that are their own age and discuss it further, so they're able to digest all of the information they were just given.
And it sounds like there's some networking that goes on too, as far as helping them find resources to help them in the community.
Yes, if we do find out that anyone needs any additional assistance outside of the weekend, we have a network set up to where we can give those kids the necessary resources that they need outside of Snowball and make sure they're taken care of. And it's also a great opportunity for these kids to network with other kids in the area that share the same values as them, so they can meet more who choose to be drug and alcohol free and make good, healthy choices.
So they can meet and get to know kids that they didn't know that are probably in their own high school. And when they see them in school the next week, all of a sudden they have a bond and they know, okay, this person shares my dedication to be a healthy individual. It's something they didn't know 3 days ago.
Right, and the same holds true for meeting those outside of their schools. Because since we are a community-based program, we don't focus on one school district. We're able to accept teens from anywhere.
That's an interesting part of the Kendall County chapter of Operation Snowball. I know that most of the snowballs in the state are based in a school or in a town. Kendall County Operation Snowball pulls from many different schools.
Yes, we pull from just about any community there is. If there's a child that wants to attend, and as long as they're in good standing with their high school, we'll accept them to attend. We just recently had someone travel all the way down from Canada to experience our weekend, which is really neat. And we've had others fly in from Florida as well. So I like to say that our chapter is a chapter without borders.
That's really cool, and it's really a nice thing to know that Operation Snowball is a program that was created by teenagers in Illinois 40 years ago, and some of them are parents now of teens that go through the program and are enjoying the program and realizing the benefits of it. It's got a leadership aspect to it as well, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Our weekend is planned entirely by our kids. We have 2 planning meetings before we get started with the weekend, and they tell us exactly what topics need to be heard and what they feel needs to be discussed at Operation Snowball. And we also have an extensive teen staff, and they are in charge of running their small groups when they're discussing the information that they were just presented with. And so the adults there are just kind of there to make sure that nobody gets hurt and everything's running as smoothly as possible.
Wow, it's amazing. I think a lot of people hearing this message would think it's near impossible to put together a whole weekend of events with as little as 4 or 5 weeks and 2 or 3, 4 meetings among teenagers, but they get it done.
Yes, it's very impressive. It's always, when we first start, it's always a little nerve-wracking because there's so much to do, but somehow, some way, it finds a way, and the weekend just usually goes off without a hitch.
That's amazing. And tell me a little bit about the staff. You have mentioned them a couple times, and what types of people gravitate to this program? Are they professionals, or are they just ordinary folks? What is it that keeps them coming back?
A lot of our adult staff members are actually returning participants. They participated in the program when they were in high school, and then wanted to come back and continue to give back to the program that changed so much of their life. So they volunteer their time. We don't need any professionals, although we do draw on their professional experience if they have some.
So if you have a teacher, a social worker, or something like that, and sometimes those are the giving types of people that found their niche in that program as young people.
Yep.
Before we run out of time, I want to ask you, when is your next event, and where can we find more information?
Our next event is March 3rd through 5th, and it will be held at Dixon Valley Retreat Center in Newark, Illinois. More information can be found on our Facebook page or on our website, which is kcosnowball.com.
Okay, and of course, before we go, we want to have everyone know they should get on the line and they should make an application. They can't just walk in. They have to show up with papers in hand saying they've done that registration process.
Yep, we need to receive an application from each person or each teen that would like to attend, as well as a $25 deposit. And they need to turn that in by February 12th.
Okay. Kayla, thank you, and good luck to you. You're doing wonderful things, and I really appreciate you being here on our show.
Thank you so much.
And we'll take a break. We'll be right back with more right after this. Final guest today is Cami Terry. She's the founder of Community Heroes Appreciation. Cami, I am so intrigued to hear your story. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You are the founder of a new 501c3, something that a lot of people dream about, oh, if I could just figure out how to do this, but you've done it. So
Right.
Tell us the story. What is Community Heroes Appreciation and how did you get this started?
Well, I founded Community Heroes Appreciation in honor of my father, who retired from the police department, and my brother is also a police officer. So the whole idea behind Community Heroes Appreciation is to honor police and fire departments. And so what we do is we hold an event for a city at a time, and we get vendors, we have raffles, silent auctions. I also actually purchased the Paw Patrol mascots. So we have the mascots there, free craft for the kids, just a whole family event. With money raised, we get the departments a meal, treats, and gifts for all the personnel. And I also make bags for the homeless, care packages for the homeless, and I also make goodie bags for the officers to give to kids when they go to a domestic call.
This is something, the timing is perfect in our nation. This is exactly what we need. How long have you been doing this?
Since April of last year.
So you knew it and you said, no, we got to do something. We've got
Absolutely.
to change something right now.
Absolutely.
So when you're talking about these events and the different communities that you go into, you basically target a community. Target's probably the wrong word, but you choose a community
Yes.
and you say this community needs this, and you host this event, this expo, and then that money is funneled right to that community. So it's am I understanding that right? The community is helping
Yes.
their own officers?
Yes, so anyone can attend the events. They don't necessarily have to live in that community. Anyone is welcome to come and support the local police and fire departments.
I think that's a wonderful idea because
Thank
you're
you.
really giving everybody a chance to do something for their department. And, some people, you've got the elderly maybe, or you've got, certain groups that don't feel that they can do anything, and you're giving them a way to help.
Right.
That's wonderful. Now tell me about the communities that you have gone to in the past.
So far I've done 5 different cities. So I've done Montgomery, Plano, Sandwich, Yorkville, and Sugar Grove. And the next one we're hosting is for Oswego.
Okay. So did you start in Montgomery then?
I did.
Okay.
That's where my dad retired from.
And what was the response in each of these communities as you've gone from place to place?
Each of them has been absolutely great. I've met a lot of great people, a lot of people that I never would have imagined that I would meet.
The thing that I think is interesting is I'm guessing that the police force is just flabbergasted when you come and say, here, we're giving this to you.
Yeah, a lot of them are actually shocked and confused, like, who are you? What are you doing? So that's kind of different. So, but once they hear about the organization, once they look on Facebook or Instagram and see what we're all about, then they're more apt to.
And I love the sweatshirt. I asked you about that
thank
as soon
you.
as I saw you.
Yeah.
You're actually now selling bling or
Yes.
wearables,
Yep.
and
We're-
that's part of the organization itself.
So we have sweatshirts, t-shirts, and then I also have mugs with the logo on it.
I like it. It's very nice. It's a wonderful thing that you're doing. So you're going to be coming up in February in Oswego. That's your next community. Tell me a little bit more about that specific event.
Sure, that one's going to be at the Oswego YMCA. It's going to be February 18th from 1 to 4. We'll have over 30 vendors. We'll have the free craft and then the silent auction, 50-50, the mascots.
Now, how would I get in touch with you if, let's say I'm a vendor, can I jump in and be part of your organization?
Absolutely. Just message me on Facebook or you can find me on Instagram.
Okay, so what kind of people are coming out to be vendors for you?
We have a bunch of vendors between direct sales, crafters, businesses, just a variety.
So you're making money with them with their registration and their table fee, basically, and
Yeah.
then just collecting money there. Is it a free event?
It is a free event.
Okay, so people just get enthused and then they want to donate. Wonderful.
And we also make money through the silent auction and raffles.
That is really cool. I think that, what's the whirlwind been like for your board of directors?
It's been busy, but it's been exciting, scary, but it's been a lot of fun too.
I just think that's really interesting that you were able to create a board. You got some friends on board with you and said, hey, let's do this, and they said, yes, we can. So that was an interesting thing that you pulled off.
Yeah.
What's next?
Well, I'd like to go national. So the whole idea about going national would be to sell the T-shirts, the sweatshirts, and the mug. So my idea behind it is like a Girl Scout troop, a school, a city would nominate their city, and they would contact me selling the logo items, and then a profit would go back to their departments.
Okay, that's big. I mean, with social media, you could probably do it.
Right.
You probably could go national very quickly. I mean, as long as you let it be known that that's your intention. I think right now that people are saying, oh, they're doing something cool here in Fox Valley,
Right.
But for you to go national, you make that announcement, and it's going to happen. That's going to change your life.
It will, and I'm excited. I'm ready for it.
Not totally fearless.
Yeah.
What would you say is the biggest part of your job then? Is it just networking? Is it the on the ground, boots on the ground, running in and doing the logistics? What is it that you enjoy most about this?
I enjoy a lot of it. Meeting new people. I do a lot of networking. I spend a lot of time during my week actually focusing on this and trying to grow my organization.
And of course, you can't underestimate what you're doing. And as you said, the things that you're doing for the department, when you walk in and you actually just hand them a check, or how does that process work?
I generally get them a gift certificate for the meal when they could do it on their own time. And then I get them treats, whether I go through a baker or I just get them like a tray of cookies. And then I actually give them the personalized gifts. I personalize every gift for every officer and every fireman, every first responder, handwrite them a personal note, and then I give them a mug, and that's their gift.
Wow. What has that been like?
It's been really great. A lot of people have been, a lot of the officers and first responders have been shocked.
I would think shocked and really touched, really, hit in the heart when you show up unexpectedly and just say, this is for you, and I want to thank you. I think that's just the shot in the arm that we all need right now. I think that's a wonderful thing that you're doing. So
thank you.
So let's see, Oswego, it's February 18th, you said, at the Oswego YMCA, and then beyond February, do you do an event a month, or?
We do an event every other month.
Every other month, okay. So your next one will be then in April?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and
April.
Have you already decided what community? Or
I haven't decided the community. I'm trying to work my way around, so it'd probably be either Plainfield or somewhere along the lines over there. Eventually, I'd like to do Aurora, but Aurora is going to have to take a lot of planning since it's so big.
Yeah, that's interesting. So that means that it's not too late to get on Instagram, you said, or Facebook. That's where we can find you at Community Heroes Appreciation.
Yep.
And maybe message you, give you a suggestion, say, hey, come to my town. Would that be the way to do it?
Yeah. That'd be absolutely great.
Well, Cammie, this is just phenomenal what you're doing.
Thank
and
you.
Again, you can find her on Facebook or Instagram at Community Heroes Appreciation. Great people doing great things in our community today on our show. It's just a joy to be able to be here and to meet the folks that are on Fox Valley in Focus. And I can't thank you enough, and I want to thank Kayla Schick and Morgan Abate for being my guest today. It's been wonderful to have all of you, and for Fox Valley Television, I just want to say thank you for being here. I'm Barb Nadeau.